Yo, TikTok and YouTube. When I say TikTok, I pray to God I can make a TikTok video out of this or cut it up where it looks good. If not, I will do my best to just kind of do like a series thing and kind of start with entry and move up. But I wanted to give YouTube something a little different and get something out there to help the people that have been asking me questions, I guess, and benefit them kind of understanding like how to build a PC and make it work in the way they do. So Paradox Customs is a company that I've been with for a very long time. It's been a couple of years now, and I bought my first PC through CLX. I did not have the best experience. Got a bunch of cheap stuff that was in this pre-built PC that, in my mind, it looked hella cool, but on the other side of it, it costed them like probably 20 bucks to use, and they sold it to me for 80 bucks. And you know, I get the markup and making money, blah blah blah, but dude, there's people that do not know this kind of stuff when they're out there buying it, and I don't want y'all to struggle like this, dude. I really don't. And that's why, you know, when I took this sponsorship with Paradox, I took it because I knew in my heart that they are selling something to the people that are going to be buying from them, something that is going to always have quality, whether it's cheap to maxed out expensive. They are going for quality and performance all day, and I respect it in ways that I cannot explain right here. So doing this video and stuff, you're going to see different things, and I'm going to explain differences and stuff. I might go a little further in situations on prices just to benefit performance, because it's not much different in price. But if it is a difference in price that matters to you, as long as you understand what you're doing and like dropping down to it, and I've kind of explained most of it through that, I try to get as detailed as possible, you will see that, you know, you can still do other things. The only thing I would recommend not budgeting on is your liquid coolant on the entry tier PC. Always go with liquid cool. Other than that, you know, I've explained the rest of that in here, and you will kind of understand the difference in them. And if you have questions, ask in the comment or just shoot me a message on my Discord. But my goal in this is just to help y'all, man. I love you guys so much, and I've offered this so many times to do. And, you know, I don't want to keep offering things to my community and not do it. And so that is why I've stepped out of my comfort zone to offer you guys something different, to be able to play games and stream without going crazy into it or buying a bunch of stuff thinking it's going to benefit you, and you've ended up spending, you know, $14,000 and you could have spent $8,000 and had probably 10 times faster PC. So I love you guys so much, man. I will do my best to make this get on YouTube or TikTok, and it will be posted to YouTube first. And if I can do little, you know, side snippets and stuff like that to get it, like, I guess little like entry level like clips and stuff for TikTok to where it makes it look good and it doesn't look weird, I'll get those out soon as well. But this will start on YouTube, and then I probably will promote it from there on TikTok to push people over. Again, I'm not a professional at this. I just have done a lot of research, and I've had a lot of experience with this over time being a full-time streamer, and I just want to benefit you guys and help you guys. So make sure you use code Decipherr on checkout. And please, if you're going to buy a PC, buy from the best company in the world, which is Paradox Customs, and they will never let you down, as they have the best customer support when you have issues and the best quality products. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope it helps. With this, what's gonna happen, I guess, is we're gonna start with just a regular case, okay? So we'll start with this. This is gonna be your entry PC. You can go white or black on the situation. It's totally preference. I'm just gonna leave it the same because the cost isn't any different. I'm not going for customization or anything here on this part. When it comes to customization, if you want a custom built PC, you're going to pay a hell of a lot more money. I focus on my builds to look nice and clean, but also have the absolute best performance. And then I'll later on add like cool features and stuff into it to make it look cool if I ever wanted that. So with this, we're going to start with the CPU. You guys are 100% okay using the Ryzen 5 processor if you want to use it. AMD, in my opinion, is the best. You know, I'm not hating on Intel. For any people out there that are, you know, pro Intel and want to, you know, rock Intel and do all that, you know, I support what y'all want. You know, we all have our opinions and stuff, but in my personal opinion, AMD is going to be the best for gaming in all different angles. So you can do this if you want to. This would not be something I recommend utilizing to stream off of. I know there's people that have streamed with it, but again, the way some of these games are going and stuff, I would not recommend it. So if I was y'all, I would spend a little extra money as a budget PC and slap this bad boy in there, the 7 series, because it has a lot of their new technology in it. On the Intel options he has, you know, feel free to use whichever one here. You know, these are going to probably be fine. If I was you, I would make sure to do your research on the difference for the, you know, the little bit of money it's going to be. So, you know, but, you know, there's not much different in price from these two here. So I would probably go with the Ultra, just the 7 Ultra, but I don't know as much about it. So, you know, in this case, it'd be just up to you guys, I guess, based on if you know Intel and you know what you're getting into and you've done your research, you know, go off that. But this is a entry build, so I'm not going to go crazy wild. So you have all these AMD processors down here, the higher you go on things, you're always going to benefit on them. Okay, so always remember that, because it obviously you're paying more for it. It's going to have better quality stuff, and it's going to work better and run better as well. I want to try to keep this as simple as possible because I'm very good at going into depth on things and making it stupid overcomplicated. So I want to make sure that I don't overcomplicate this for anybody and confuse the hell out of y'all. Okay, this is very new to me as well, y'all. So this is something I'm trying to just step out of my comfort zone and do, and, you know, educate some people and go through the things that I went through and stuff and learned, because I didn't have someone or a YouTube video to go through. I just thought I knew everything, and I did it, and I still don't know everything. You know, some of the things I'm saying right now might be wrong, but I'm confident enough in the 8 years I've been using Windows and building PCs and taking my PCs and stuff apart, and at least showing this to you guys, because, you know, I've studied a lot about it. I've read a lot about it. And now that I've got a sponsorship with the company that I've worked so hard to get with, you know, I want to make sure that everybody gets what they are paying for and doesn't get screwed over as well. What you will notice is Paradox does not use like any cheap software or any cheap motherboards or any brands that I will say suck in a sense, because he wants to sell you the best quality, and he wants you to know that what you're purchasing is going to be the best options to use at a cheaper price as well. If you go to like CLX, they've got so many different options on their place where, yeah, the RAM and stuff's the same speeds and stuff like that, but the brand and the quality and the technology in it is nowhere near the same as what these other places are going to give you as well. So remember that as well. That's the other benefit to it as well. He could have so many different options on here for y'all to choose from, but he's only going to sell you what is got good reviews and what is very popular for running the best as well. In this situation, we're on an entry board, so we're going to go with this motherboard right here. You can go further. It will benefit you if you've got the money and you want to go with a better board. It will benefit you in 100 different ways. So if you start with this board and you want to max out like a cheap build, feel free to do that. But I'm starting off as like a budget build to help people kind of understand the difference. When it comes to this right here, I want you guys to understand one thing. These fans, yes, they do keep your PC cool. Never let yourself buy a PC without liquid cool. I understand that people do it. It works for you, but in a personal opinion and just preference, you're not going to be able to keep your PC as cool as you want it to, with like you can with liquid coolant. So just remember that when you do it, because I'm not a huge fan of the fans. I like liquid cool because it works a lot better, and you can push the performance of the PC further, and it will keep up with that as well. So let's see here. The RAM that they've got, you know, they use the best RAM in both ways. G-Skill and Trident are the same company. They make the same RAM. You can see G-Skill at the top here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of people are going to say 64 gigs is you can go further than 64 gigs. You don't need it for gaming, man. You don't need it for streaming. I use 48 gigs of RAM. That's the max I would ever reference anybody to use. If you're just gaming or streaming, if you're trying to edit videos and do all this other crazy stuff, 100%, feel free to jump up to 64 gigs. But just know if the further you go in RAM, it could potentially hurt your FPS as well. To get the best FPS possible, in some of these games you have to play to do that. I would not go further than 48 gigs of RAM. Your megahertz is what matters. You can go further than 6,000. I have a higher one as well, but on these lower end PCs, it's sometimes harder to do that because the boards don't support it. Different motherboards will support different RAM frequencies, I guess is what you would call that. And so just know that if you're buying a board, make sure you know what your board frequencies are if you choose to ever upgrade your RAM in the future, because that does matter. I'm going to go with the 32 gigabyte one and the G-Skill RAM here, because this brand and the version of this that they use is, in my opinion, amazing. I don't know much about Ripjaws, but I do know that the Trident Z5 RAM is very good. I've used it in all my PCs. A lot of people don't know this, but storage is very important when you're building a PC. The speed of how fast it can process and save and move files and stuff is very important to know, because a lot of people would never think that something like this can benefit your FPS. So if I was y'all, for the difference here on a budget PC to benefit you, a lot of games are very high on storage. 1 terabyte does not get you far for your C drive. And if your C drive gets clogged up and cluttered and you get that thing rolling to about 90%, it will slow your PC down. It will cause you a lot of problems. And it can really make your experience with gaming very frustrating, because your PC will run like crap. So I'm going to say on a budget PC, go with 2 terabytes. If you go with 1 terabyte, understand it is fine to utilize, but do not expect that to do anything crazy when you're saving a bunch of files on that. I would definitely get an external hard drive to save some other data too. On GPU, you know, I love that they give you this option here, and they do give you good options all the way around. I'm not a huge Radeon person when it comes to the GPUs and stuff, but if you know that you love them, I've never actually personally used them. They've got a lot of good opportunity there, so feel free to do your thing there. I'm going to just go here and explain this real quick. So these are both 5060s, right? But this is an RTS 5060. You can see the difference in size. It's got more fans on this one. Performance-wise, it is all around better in my opinion. You can start with this if you have a budget. You're going to be at 8 gigs versus 16, but for $100 and something difference and for what it's going to do for you, you know, I would recommend going with the 5060 Ti, but $100 is $100 as well, and this economy is wild. And so don't break the bank just to jump to this, because I'm telling you to, this will work as well. But I'm trying to kind of build this PC to where you could semi-stream on this and game on this and do what you want to do. If you use this one here, I would not recommend wanting to stream on it. If you just want a game, it will probably benefit you. But again, the higher you go up on these levels, the better it's going to, obviously, it's going to make your experience with gaming. So, you know, this is an $850 GPU, but it will benefit you to have it because it's way faster and performs way better. I'm a huge Asus person and Gigabyte person. So when I say this, you know, Gigabyte is my second option. Asus will always be my first. I've had both cards and they both worked really well, but I've always had better luck with performance and quality and reliability with Asus. So that's what we're going to select here on this budget PC. Your power supply does matter in a lot of different ways. So when I say this, you want to have a good power supply. Let me see here, because this image is not loading. It's probably me. Yeah, it was me. Imagine that. Okay, so this one's $70, $85 to $100. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would take the leap and just go with $850. So if you do decide to do any upgrades or anything, you're good. Again, we're gonna max out the power supply so you've got enough area to kind of wiggle with and stuff and move around with and stuff, I guess, so you're able to upgrade later on. When you go to these bigger cards though, you're definitely gonna have to change your case as well. These cards are massive. It's like a freaking brick in your PC, and you know, this case that I'm building will not be able to fit a 58 or 5090 in it, or 5080 probably as well. So remember that when you buy these as well. So you're probably gonna have to get a new case to probably build a whole new PC in a couple years, you know, if you want to upgrade to a bigger GPU. So just remember that when you're doing this as well, if you have future plans with this. I'm trying to make sure that I cover everything with this on here so you guys understand these all will work. But if you honestly want to buy less, it will not hurt you in crazy ways. But again, if you try to upgrade, you could have compatibility issues or not enough power to be able to do that. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that, you know, the power supply is what powers the whole thing. You want to obviously get the best you can, you know, when it comes to that. So this is all customizable crap, you know, blah, 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 whatever, you know, it's beneficial. Yes. You know, he comes with a 1-year warranty, and he's very honest with this as well. I mean, he does what the warranty's supposed to do. A lot of companies won't. I've had to challenge a hell of a lot of companies to give me what I need and stuff out of this, but I'm going to say this in all honesty, man, Paradox is really good with their warranty. So shout out to them for that. They've been amazing, man. If you guys decide to want to do like an optimization thing to this to make sure the PC does the absolute best it can, I would 100% recommend for $50 to have them do it. They do the cheapest optimization that I've ever seen or heard of out there, and they do it the same freaking way, and they're charging almost 20 or 30 or 40, sometimes maybe 50% less, because there's companies out there selling this, doing the same thing as them for $50, $60, or $150 something, $200. I've seen it as high as $320. I've seen it less, but again, you know, these guys are doing stuff for like high-end people, like, you know, Dr. Disrespect and stuff. And you know, these guys here do the same thing for these. They have big clients. They've had clients from like Kai Cenat, Drake. I mean, they've done so many different people, and I mean, NBA players, everything. And they're not price gouging to be able to benefit you on the best performing PC. So remember that as well. I would definitely recommend getting a dedicated PC optimization optimization, a dedicated PC optimization appointment from Paradox, because it is going to benefit you in the long run. Okay, so add to cart. Right now with the total, we're at $1,400. It's $1475. So, you know, this is a budget build, and this is built to be sturdy. This is built to be clean and, you know, benefit you the way you would want. They do have 0% APR as low as $101 with FiveM, and it doesn't affect credit. You don't have to have credit. FiveM is really good. I did it with them, and there was no interest on it for like a year and a half, and it's a good way to get into it without having to, you know, slap out a crap load of money too. So that is another benefit as well with Paradox, is they do offer very good financing and fair financing as well. So this is going to be your first option, you know, when it comes to building a PC. And I know that obviously we're getting a little in depth here, so I just want to make sure to cover all this and, you know, kind of go from there. That way you guys know exactly what you're getting into, and you know I'm trying to be as honest as I can with this as well. And you know, I can add whatever I want to into this when it comes to editing and stuff, but I want to make sure that you guys understand. I really want you guys to succeed when buying these PCs. So, okay, we're gonna go to a medium tier build, and we're gonna go up to the next level, and we're gonna try to make this quick, because I did cover pretty much everything whenever we go over these PCs and stuff like that. You know, I want to try to make sure to cover it all, so you guys understand throughout the whole video and stuff that it's the same process. On the higher you go with it on price, you're probably going to get more performance when it comes to the internal stuff of it, when it comes to the boards, your GPU, your CPU, your you know, your RAM and stuff like that, your storage, all that. So we're going to start with this, because to me the case right now is fine. It's probably like their lower end, it's like their lower price cases and stuff. So again, I'm not a huge Intel person, so I'm just going to be upfront with you guys on that. I'm going to say AMD all day. For the difference with this, I will tell you to do the 7800X 3D. If you have the money to be able to slap a 9800X 3D in it, this has been one of the most popular CPUs on the market for a very long time, until the 9050X 3Ds came out. But again, I want to keep this around your medium range. This one will have a 3D processor in it, so we'll slap that up. We'll do a little upgrade there and work on performance, because that's going to be my focus, is performance. You can make it as cool as you want to, but you're going to spend a hell of a lot more money to do that. When it comes to your motherboard, okay, hear me out on this. This does matter tremendously. I have this board right here, and I'm going to say this in the best ways I can. I love it, man. It is like the absolute just most insane board I've ever had in my life, and it is 100% a very strong suited board. Again, though, we are focused on a medium tier board, so don't let me freaking, you know, flex you out to buy this. It will benefit you a ton to game on and stream on. This PC here, the way we're going to go, you should be able to do both on it, but you will still need to do some on any PC you buy that you get. You will still need to optimize Windows and do all that and make sure that it is done right. Okay, so remember that when you do this. But we'll go with this one here. It's a good board. It'll fit a medium tier build. I think this is the same board we put on the other one. If you wanted to, you could do the master edition and just go a little step further with it for $80 more. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to say that as well. You can do either one. Okay, so on this here, I'm going to stick probably with the one we've got right now. If you want to have better liquid coolant to know you're good, I have this one here, the Kraken Elite one. It is a solid one. This one's good as well, and this one is really good as well. A couple of my friends have it, and they love it as well. But I went with this one here. This one will do just as good. It's MSI. It does a great job, and it won't break the bank. If you want to upgrade and go further with a better one that will be able to do more, I would recommend this or this one here for the difference. When it comes to RAM, again, 32 gigs is plenty. Feel free to, you know, go further if you want to. You can go to 48 gigs, you know, depending on what you're going to do. They do offer 64 gigs of RAM, but again, 64 gigs of RAM is not something I would recommend unless you're doing like video editing and going stupid wild with it. And you can video edit with 32 and 48 as well. I do all my TikTok and YouTube videos myself, and I do just fine. But for people that go extreme with it, that 64 would matter then. So with this here, on a medium tier build, this is like a hard spot for me, because I don't want to flex y'all out and make you guys spend a crazy amount of money, but I want to make sure when you do this, it's proper. Okay, you will be fine with 2 terabytes. I would never recommend a 1 terabyte hard drive unless you absolutely have to, because Call of Duty's 500 gigs. That's half a terabyte you're using on just one game. You're not going to get very far with that. So I would recommend a 4 terabyte one on this one. Feel free to do the 2 if you want to. Okay, I'm just going to recommend 4 terabyte as like a personal opinion on this. If I was budgeting, this is how I would try to do it. Another option you have is, if you want, you could do a backup D drive as a lower terabyte one, or reverse it, and you could go 2 terabyte here. So your C drive is like what Windows and stuff runs on, and then your D drive, you can download other things. I will say you'll get a better FPS if you download whatever game you're playing on your C drive, and then the rest on the other drive. It's not much of a difference, but the C drive is prioritized a little differently. But you can go with your D drive being the 4 terabyte one, and then you've got yourself like a little mix up here of a pretty good opportunity of having a good quality situation here. But if you just want one, do 4 terabytes. But if you want to be able to double it and benefit yourself having a C and a D, this is a good option as well. But I'm going to go again with just the 4 terabyte one. So I want to keep this budget wise, but I want to make sure to cover everything as if it's possible, so you guys do understand. Oh no, there we go. They make it that simple. I was about to be sad. Okay, so obviously that's not there. On a medium tier build, a 5060 would be okay, but as you see here, Paradox does not offer it because it's not something that's gonna go very far. Okay, and let me be real with you, Asus is a solid product. They have it's Republic, Republic gamers. I mean, their product is out of this world. Okay, so with this, I would recommend on a budget build, not going with AMD unless you know what you're doing with it and you trust it. I've not ever used their graphics cards. I've just heard about them, and I've not heard very solid about it. Let me just be honest with you guys. Okay. Let's see here. So we got a Prime and we got this one. So this, okay. I see what the difference is. I would recommend, if you had the extra money, it's a few $100s more. If you can do the 5080, definitely jump on it. This one is what I'm going to go with because you can still stream off of this and it would still work just as good. Okay. So there's that. You've got your fans. These fans do matter. The other one, they came with the fans. I think that they're actually this one will come with it as well, because the fans are a little bit hard sometimes to make work in some of these cases. So this one comes with the fans. They're $45. Your power supply, as I said on the last video, it does matter, obviously, in a lot of different ways. I went with this one here, this power supply here, but when I bought it, but again, you're not necessarily going to need it, because I mean, you're not, unless you plan on going further with it in the future. That would be what I would go with. I would always go with the higher. Again, higher is better. You're going to hear that a lot in this video, and I'm so sorry, but I just want to make sure we're covering that. Let's do the 1000, just because, some of these graphics, some of these 50 series, when you go higher, can be a little bit more holy on the power. Obviously, you got your PC optimization. I do recommend doing it. It's only $50 when you buy a PC through them. So, I would do it because that's just going to make your PC run better. You have all the options here. You add it to the cart. You're at about, it's about $1,000-ish more from the last one. So, $1,000 more will get you a lot further. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more specs in the hardware and stuff, and it's a lot better. So this is just based on cases. These are all S tier builds. Okie dokie. This is plus. This is like crazy. Like your case and stuff is like wildly ventilated. It is a solid case. But I'm going to go with what I did and what I went with, because I think this case is way sexier. I'm just saying. If you want to slap a screen in that case is sexy as hell with a screen in it. But you'll go with the 9950X 3D core processor. I have this one. Ball in status. This thing is crazy as hell. Okay, it is so sick. I'm gonna slap the same board I've got in this. So you do the internal all black and silver. It doesn't show you in the end what it will look like, but you can kind of side by side it and see already looking pretty sick. Then you slap your Kraken Elite in this thing, and let's say you go with, they have a white option with it. I'm sure if you talked with Paradox, You could probably get the black version of it if you wanted to, you know, just talk with him. The dude's really, he'll work with you in a lot of different ways. So I went with that one. Let's see here. Your RAM, you're going to want to do, I think this one offers 48 gigs as well. Yes. There was a 7600 megahertz RAM option when he did it. I don't think he has it in stock, but if he has that one in stock, or 76, there's 76. I would go with the 48 one at 7600 megahertz, or you can ask him to order it with it, and that'll benefit you at a huge amount. But that's the one I have. I have 48 gigs of RAM, but mine's a little faster on the hertz wise. You go with the fastest one you can get, which this one's 14,000 MBS. So the one we put on the other one was 4 terabytes, but 7,000 MBS, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This one can support, because it's got a better system and a better board and everything, can support crazy speeds. So you're gonna see the difference on this one. So 14,000 is crazy on the read speed, and the write speed's 12,000. I mean, that thing is stupid fast. So 100% that. This is all built on performance, and it's gonna look sexy as hell when we're done with it as well. I did go with another 4 terabyte hard drive on my other side of it as well. It does not have it's the 7,000 MBS speed, which is still fast, but you don't want to do both of those. You really don't. You don't want to do too fast, like crazy fast ones, which is why he doesn't offer it, because it's too much at that point. Okay. So when it comes to your graphics card on a high-end PC, I would do the 5090 all day, like all freaking day. So you've got two options here. You've got the advanced and this one. I bought whatever at the time it was their highest end PC. I'm losing my voice. Sorry. I bought their higher end, their highest graphics card. I wish they had the Rogue Astral in, because I would have totally bought this one. That's the one I wanted, but at the time when I bought my 5090, it was impossible to get, and it sucks because I did what this would. This would look so sexy on my PC, and I'm gonna build it for you, okay, this way, because she's a bad girl, okay, so you're welcome. I wish I had this one, man. I wish I did. This thing is crazy wild. It is a very expensive GPU. It's $3,500, but you're gonna benefit off of that bad boy in a crazy way, okay? Just hear me out. I did go a little more custom on the fans in the case and everything, so I went with, and Paradox can again work with you on this. In this case, I went with all fans with screens and stuff on the side here in the back. I would ask questions about this one with him, but so just go with the 7 for now if you need to do more talk with him, you know, but just remember that anything he's offering is going to be what works with it. You know, keeping it cooler is better, I guess, in a sense as well. So just kind of do whatever you feel is right and work with Paradox on that bad boy as well. Power supply, you could do the 1,000, but you know, we're flexing here, so we're going 13 just because we want to make sure we got the best power possible. Just remember, you can finance this. I know that's a lot of dough, but this is like customization and knowing that everything's solid. And on top of that, it's going to run like a champ. But as you can see, guys, you know, there's a lot of things we could get into with this. And this was just building PCs. On the next one that I do, I'll cover pre-builds. It will not be as long. I wanted to get the longest one out of the way because I had to cover 3 PCs with this to make sure you guys are aware. And mind you, you can make any changes you want to. You can choose any technology you want to, you know, any brand, whatever you want. It's all preference, but I have my preference, and you know, a lot of people use AMD and a lot of people use Intel, and you know, it's really just preference at that point. But I feel like AMD is the best all the way around. I appreciate you guys so much. One, for the support. One, for allowing me this amazing opportunity to be able to even have a sponsorship with a PC company. I could have never gotten to the place that I'm at in my life if it wasn't for my community. My family, man, is so supportive of this, and you guys have supported and loved me for so long. And I honestly know that I probably scuffed a few words and stuff in here, and I was a little nervous to do this. This is the first time I've really stepped out and tried to do something like this and share my knowledge with something, because it's a very hungry world out there. My focus is always going to be performance all day, and stable performance too. So every PC I built will support, hopefully, the 5060 one, the low end one. Like I mentioned, it's an iffy thing, you know, off and on. I would not have high expectations to have good quality streams with it, but you could probably still stream some games without any problems. Once you get to the medium tier and further, you probably could, you know, stream with it, but there would be some configuration. I had to configure my build currently, and you know, it took time. You know, based on what you're using it for. We all use Windows and stream and do stuff in different ways, you know, and you got to make it work the way you need it to. So it takes time to kind of build it the way you need to. Other than that, y'all, seriously, thank you so much for the support and everything. Again, I cannot thank this family enough for everything that we've got and everything we continue to grow, and the things that are coming in the future and stuff. I'm very thankful for Paradox. I'm very thankful for all my other you know, community members as well that support me in the way that they do. I do hope this video helps you guys. My focus on this video was to give you someone that's going to treat you right and allow you to have exactly what you need, and they're not going to do you wrong. They're not selling you bad parts, and Paradox is the company to use, and that is why I am putting myself out there to kind of show this company off and let you know exactly who you should go through. Code Decipherr on checkout at paradoxcustoms.com. If you want the best PC in the world, make sure you use it. I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you on the next video.